Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
Go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breakverse. Episode 17, which is the first episode that we are streaming on the Twitch channel. So if you're like, how did I miss the Tuesday show in the huge list of shows that we do every week? It's not just because we do a ton of stuff. It's because up until this point, this has been a podcast. And for those listening in the podcast, sorry. We're also on Twitch now.
I mean, starting streaming a show mid-campaign worked well for at least one other game. So you never know.
Maybe that's the magic ingredient we've been missing thus far with all of our other projects.
You mean Gran
We
Terra?
started at the beginning.
It worked great for Gran Terra. I'm kidding.
Started from the bottom, now
we here. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
How did we go down?
I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Anyway,
with that sort of done, little bit of an introduction to this world. So, instead of doing the typical episode intro, I'm just gonna go from the beginning. Our heroes started in a small seaside port from which they received a strange, demanding old man telling them to go to a secret temple to the Eight Wings, one of the pantheons of deities in this world. They arrived at the temple, discovered that everyone there had been massacred, and the people that were still there were not very happy to see outsiders in their secret temple. After parlaying with the ASMR chosen one of Felite, the goddess of compassion, they left the temple on less than heinous terms. And returned back to the town looking for the old man, who they learned had fled to another nearby town, chased him there, finding that the town was apparently cursed, and ascending a tower to not necessarily break the curse, but break themselves from the curse and get for themselves a nice, swanky place to live that magically could be conjured to their preferences. Then they stole a boat because because we have a few pirates on the team. During the tower, they did lose a member. Anders, the cleric of depression.
I'd say that's fairly accurate. What would you say, Jeremy?
Jeremy, you're muted.
Jeremy's muted.
Pouring one out for the homie. I mean, blood
Technically a
cleric.
Vash.
Yes, blood
Yes.
cleric who was regularly depressed and emo, not cleric of depression.
But not, not in a depressed way, like in an aggressive way.
Yes,
You were
Fuck
a
you.
depressed cleric, not
He
a
was-
cleric of depression.
and Anders Eldrin was the goth in the 90s who was angry that all of the Marilyn Manson fans were calling themselves goth.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
about
the
right.
best
Right,
way to
that
describe
works.
him.
That works.
Yep. And so that is actually, and on the boat they have decided to head for the Underdark, where they hope to find. The world seems to be ending just a smidge, and they don't want that to happen. So they're hoping to find answers, maybe where this started, maybe just where there's more information. So I'm going to hand it over to each of our players so that they can introduce their characters and give a little bit of their rundown of how things have happened. We're going to start with Navarin.
Right. Hi. I'm Navarin. I play Alistar Amrand. He is a half-elf bard. He's from the small town we started in. He just really wanted to be an adventurer, you guys, and up until this point, just everything that's happened has mostly been shitting on him. But he's taking it in good grace. He's trying. He went to a library. He found a book. He's got it. For some reason, it took all of his memories of all the old bards he used to know about. But he doesn't. He can get it back at some point. He just doesn't know when. He just has to give the book back. He's fairly certain that all this world-ending thing is nonsense, and he's just out there to get a good story and learn the adventuring lifestyle. He saved the group from a shadow demon. He's all in on the pirate lifestyle. He's all about being a pirate. He just doesn't quite know what it entails, and he will never ever take a watch.
All right,
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Jeremy.
Yes, hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Halistra, a drow druid. Halistra is very much more comfortable with animals and plants than she is people. She hasn't revealed a lot about her past at this point. At some point, she got an experience where she became aware of something very terrible that may happen in the future. She seems very dedicated towards stopping that, which is why she's along with this group who she encountered in the tower. She has expressed that she is not a fan of her people, that they are even worse than the people on the surface. And considering how she treats her party, that's saying something. And that is pretty much her. Oh, and she cast Moonbeam on Alistair last time we did this, because
We had a frank and fresh exchange of views, and I got very confused about what was going on, and then a moonbeam happened.
I mean, you stepped on her tail because she was a tiger.
I was being attacked by a tiger. I was trying to protect the group. It's the heroic. Look, I'm a dashing and daring man of
Ragnar.
mystery. Dashing
Or
and
Jack.
daring.
Hi everybody, I'm Jack. I play Ragnar Einherjar, the dwarven paladin of conquest. He and his brother Einar were pirates for quite a while, but their ship, the Stormpiercer, eventually sank, And there's a thing in this world wherein individuals who are lost or even drowned or killed at sea sometimes wash up more or less healthy on the shore of an island or a beach on the continent somewhere, becoming what's known as tideborne. Generally, most, if not all of their memories have been washed away, and they sort of have to start fresh without the benefit of their previous experiences sometimes, which is what happened to Ragnar and his brother. So Ragnar has been working with this group of miscreants, still with an eye on the horizon, planning on hopefully reclaiming a ship, reestablishing himself and his brother as one of the main terrors of the waves, and possibly ruling the world if that becomes a viable pathway for us to follow. Recently, his brother has gone into a bit of seclusion back in the magic tower they found in Mirror Shore. His brother's a necromancer and is doing a lot of experimentation, shall we say, which is one of the reasons why Ragnar collects corpses and leaves them at his brother's magical threshold. Kind of like the cat that you didn't know was horrific. But yeah, so right now he's on his way to the Deeplands looking for news of anybody who knows where the Stormpiercer may have sunk, because a lot of his history and a lot of his old riches were definitely going down with that ship, and he'd like to recover those at some point.
I am Kat, and I am playing Scar. She is a wood elf. She was kidnapped as a child and raised by giants who were barbarians. She lived with them for a while, did the hunter-gatherer thing, got in their good graces to try and stay alive as much as possible. Was there for about 30-ish years or so, and then made her escape and just kept going and not looking back. She kind of found herself in this seaside town because she had to go in for provisions and such, and kind of got corralled into this group of misfits, I guess would be a good way of saying it. Some stuff happened. They killed some people. They pissed off some people. And then Anders died and kind of rocked her world a little bit, threw her for a loop because she just was not expecting that to happen. And so it's kind of made her rethink some of her choices, like kind of falling in love with a necromancer, little things. But now Einar's not even around, so she's kind of really freaking out just a little bit, because now she's on a boat. She's never been on a boat before.
Ship.
She's never been around this much water. Yeah. So she's, trying very hard not to freak out and just go with the flow as much as possible and not get grossed out by the bard.
So that is the crew of the Dead Man's Revenge as they land on an island of Imelska.
What everyone else forgot to mention is that I'm the hero of this story.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, you just think you're the hero of this story.
Well, no, it's me and Helistra, technically. We're the heroes.
No.
Fun facts about each of the characters.
Also, it's a boat because it doesn't sound as much fun to say I'm on a ship, motherfuckers.
It's ship.
There's only one ship that's happening, and that ship has sailed. All right.
And it's called The Dead Man's Revenge, and you're all part of my crew.
That is
Thank you.
True.
I'll be here all week.
That is not true, and you know it.
Jeremy
I feel
got
like
it.
there's a ship that's called Alistair/anything interested.
Yes.
I mean, Alistair, the one true ship tragically did not get to happen
I
because
know.
Alistair was not able to literally fuck himself.
I had a good go, though.
He definitely put out an applaudable amount of effort.
Also, you didn't see
Did
what
I
happened
ever
in the mirror
mention that I
room
put,
afterwards.
mirror duplicates of the characters in this game and then instantly regretted it?
Yeah.
I live to hear GM say that.
Yeah, that it's really funny because like that really wasn't a big thing for
So-
Ska.
Let's move on
Yep.
to
Present time.
Imishka, where Alistar, you're off having a drink at a bar, and we'll get there soon.
Oh yeah.
Unless, but Ragnar, you're heading back, witnessing a quick exchange between Halistra and Ska in front of the temple tent to Dautrix, the triple goddess responsible for fate, past, present, future, visions, prophecy, inevitability, those sort of things.
Well, seems you've found this edifice as well. So,
Ah,
are we headed
hello.
inside? That's as good as a
That
yes from
is-
you, Halister.
That is literally the sound she makes. It sounds like a cat growling.
A cat who has recently become aware of something it does not quite agree with, but can't also kill right away.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
All right. So,
Will go with you only because I do not trust that beach, and I'm better off with somebody with a little skeptical.
you all pull back the tent exterior and enter in. Within, the tent feels smaller than it did from the outside. Walls of dark colored cloth, dimly lit by a few candles, and the entire room sort of covered in a loose smoke, possibly from some sort of incense. In the center of the space, a tiefling woman with large crimson horns lays shirtless on a wooden table with her back exposed. Behind her is another figure covered in a cowled cloak. Neither seem to immediately take notice of your entrance. The cloaked figure holds up a needle and thread, measuring an amount off the spool. The thread floats, glowing in the air as she weaves it on the needle. And bits of the thread start to float slowly down, landing on the woman's back and imbuing her skin with a bluish light similar to the glow of the threads themselves as they stitch them into the back, making odd patterns that are hard to identify. After some time, the ritual seems to conclude, more threads falling into place, making a complete pattern. The vibrant marks to all of you feel somewhat familiar. There's a vague recognition to the pattern once it's completed, but it's just on the tip of your tongue. You're not quite able to immediately put words to what this is a picture of. Then the light from the threads and the patterns start to fade. She stands up, shrugs on a cloak, gives you guys a nod, and heads out, leaving you with just the cloaked figure.
Well, that was quite a sight to see.
Mm.
Do I have any idea what sort of religious process or ritual this might have been?
Religion or Arcana?
Oh, I've got a 0 in both of those. 18.
Okay, I have a 1 in both of those.
Putting.
Yeah, I'm gonna try as well.
Okay.
No, that's an 8.
I will religion.
Okay.
because-
Halistra, you can
I-
make this with advantage given your.
Okay.
Your history.
This isn't your first rodeo. It's everyone
9 with advantage.
You're not sure. You've never seen this particular ritual
Yeah.
before.
She's just standing there, like arms crossed, sort of shoulders hunched slightly, and just staring with that sort of half narrowed.
Ragnar with an 18, putting together goddess of fate, temple to that goddess, likely some sort of fortune-telling ritual or something of that variety.
Mm-hmm. Some level
Would
of
make
divination,
a lot of
probably.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah, some level of divination.
But I don't know any of the specifics.
Not just from seeing it.
Okay.
Fate works in many ways, and sometimes the past is told through ceremony.
Ragnar will nod. Sounds reasonable enough to him.
But her past is perhaps not why you are here.
Bit of yes, bit of no.
Oh. I wasn't aware that you were acquainted with her. And she'll... Well, let me off. The past, the future, and the present are all the same, connected, but at different points. Well, come on. I might assume that you seek some privacy.
Ragnar will kind of nudge Ska forward since he'd seen that she was the first that was preparing to go in. Lead the way.
Ska will follow wherever.
Yep. You're guided through the curtains to another of these somewhat sectioned off areas. Not quite in the front. In the front. Damn it, why do I do accents? She will sit down at a table and gesture Ska for you to sit at the other end. Sort of a small pentagram shape. The one that's not a pentagram, just the actual shape. Yes,
Pentagon?
Hexagon.
Pentagon.
No,
the one with 5 sides.
Pentagon, yeah.
I was an A math student. Every year they didn't teach geometry.
That's
worries.
fair.
Yep. At this pentagonal table, and gestures for you to sit sort of across from her.
Ska will sit.
Okay. She'll... So, do you mind if your friends, companions are present?
Not at all.
Of course. What do you wish to know? And she'll start going through a bag at her side.
I wish to know my future and my past.
Yes, many do. Many do. Well, this seems to be the right thing for the moment. And she'll pull out a small bag about the size of a dice bag.
Something that we will all
Crown Royal,
instantly
got it.
recognize the size of.
Yes. And pull out a number of... They look like shards of some sort of purple crystal, maybe an amethyst, something like that. All slightly different shapes. She holds them in her hand. Is there any particular questions you have, or just the broadest strokes?
I'll take broad strokes to start, I guess.
Of course, shall we start in your past or your future?
Future.
She will let the small crystals fall, and they sort of scatter around the table. Not in any particular pattern or way that to you looks moved by magic, just on the table. And she sort of looks at them. Well, young one, of course your conflict is not over yet. It rarely is for someone so young. But I sense you're turning, changing. Yes?
Maybe.
You seek to make some past calamity define your future.
Doesn't everyone?
Yes.
Perhaps. I do not speak for everyone. For now, I speak with you. No, you wanted to go drink.
Okay, cool, because you kept saying all of you.
Yeah, because the rest of us are there.
All the rest of you.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Well, and you are involved in many great things. You interlock yourself with powerful people, but you turn away.
I turn away?
Or perhaps it would be better to say you will turn away if you are on the way you have been now. It is often easier for those to see the meaning of prophecy when they know what they are seeking more specifically. You ask me what your future is, I see that you will turn away from something. I do not see what or why unless I know what you are looking to learn the future of. Perhaps you turn away from lover, perhaps you turn away from monster.
At
Perhaps
the
you
word
turn
lover,
away from
Ska
job
visibly
as a plumber.
shudders. At the word lover, Ska visibly shudders.
Or perhaps not. You see what I mean, though. I cannot see more than you wish to see.
Then let's go to the past.
Of course, of course. And she'll sort of recollect the crystals, throwing them out again. This time, Sky, you are able to make out something of a pattern to them. They seem to cluster in 3 groupings. She looks at them. Well, you have changed yourself quite drastically in the past, have you not?
Kind of.
And she'll look him over. Your past is a one of travels and trials, and from one place to another, sudden breaks between different stages, whatever you might see them as. But again, I cannot see what you might hope to learn unless you ask me what you wish to learn.
I want to know if my family is still alive.
Good. Specific questions. People get much less angry at me for answering those. And she'll regather.
Hold on.
Is
Okay, that's with it, but she doesn't say anything.
yeah.
She's being good.
Good.
Halistra behaving herself.
So
Right?
So proud of our little drow.
And the crystals fall again. This time again, the shape is indiscernible to you, though many of them scatter closer to you than they have with previous questions. She will. Especially for those of your kind, family is large. It is a long time of many very long generations that overlap with each other. I can see your great-great-great-grandmother has passed away, and your sister no longer either. But most of them, of course not all, long life does not mean surviving that long. Yes, your family does survive.
Interesting.
At least
Thank
in
you.
your present.
Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else you would like to know? This accent is getting away from me.
I mean, you're compared to what I've done in this campaign, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good. No worries. Ska will kind of go to like reach out to touch one of the stones and then stop herself. No, I think that's good.
Of course. Anything else you'll need, Dot? Like, illuminate your path. And she'll recollect all of the crystals, puts them back in the little bag they came in, and sets that aside. She will look up Halistra and Ragnar, now sort of at you two. So?
Ragnar will give Halistra a look. And then go sit down
Halistra,
himself.
yeah, without
Yes.
even a beat, like the second those eyes turn on her is a long stream of undercommon, probably a good couple of sentences that ends in common. Fuck no.
Ska will get up, pat Halistra on the shoulder, and then watch Ragnar sit down.
Not everyone is ready.
If she understands that, basically it was a long string about how much she despises the goddess and distrusts her, and she's full of shit, etc. And if she thinks she's going to peer into her soul,
Fuck no.
fuck
Yeah.
no.
Halistra, make me a wisdom save.
Okay. Oh no.
Another one.
Yeah, no, I figured 22.
You feel a shiver down your spine as the wind seems to no longer be buffeted by the
I mean, I did tell
temple.
goddess to go fuck herself in her own temple, so
Yeah,
that coming.
and you're kind of glad that this goddess will only curse your eternity and not smite you on the spot. Ragnar, you sit down at the table, and I will ask as I asked your friend. Do you mind if they are here, or do you need privacy?
Of course not. They could watch.
And she'll look down in her bag, pull out, oh, these will do. As I have to flip to the Ragnar page. She pulls out a deck of cards. It's not a deck that you exactly recognize. It's not tarot. It's not like a standard playing card deck. As she sort of shows the cards to you, demonstrating what's on both sides, they're the fronts where you might expect the face or the pattern to be are this marbled pattern with indistinct sort of ink blotches to the pattern. Clearly some sort of differentiation between each one, but they're kind of a what do you see in this image test.
Oh, okay. It's a Rorschach.
Yeah, it's Rorschach cards in some ways. And she will start shuffling them after having shown you what's on the cards. So, what are you hoping to find out?
More of the past than the future.
Mm-hmm. Sure. See. And in your past, what do you want to know?
A simple question first. Will there be unintended consequences from my brother's last necromancy?
Ska will look at you slightly quizzically with that line.
He completely ignores her.
Mm-hmm.
And is just
She will
very closely watching the cards.
make me a perception roll.
Okay. That's a 3.
She's shuffling. She seems to know how to shuffle.
Okay.
That's about how far you get. Shockingly, the person at the temple knows how to use her implements.
Yeah.
Right.
So she will put the cards in the deck and sort of deal out 5, gather them up and sort of back to you, not showing them to either of you, hand them out to you.
Okay. So she's just holding me out like a fan hand of 5 cards?
Yeah, just like a here's your hand sort of gesture.
Does it look like she's giving them to me to collect all of them or just pick one?
She looks like she's handing you a hand of cards. So
Okay. Yep.
collect all of
He'll gather them up and take a look at them.
And just like as you're in the process of like reaching and almost just like to turn over the cards and look at them, she gets this look of shock, surprise as she pulls them back and sets them to the side. No, maybe that is unexpected. Put those aside for now. I will use them later. And she'll hand you 5 different cards off the top, the next 5.
Okay. He'll take those.
She
Fan him out and look at him.
Okay. 2 of them are swirling patterns. One has only one large, sharp blotch on it, and the other 2 have sort of a more speckled appearance.
Okay. And the last 2?
2 swirly, 1 blotch, 2 speckled.
Oh, okay. He'll throw down the blotch face up first.
You are not without respect and confidence, but you worry about your brother. Not because he is less steadfast, but because he walks a path much closer to what you yourself are inclined towards, more openly.
He'll throw down the 2 speckly ones.
She will look them over. You have much that still is not redecided. You are making the path, but you will go underground. That is what you seek.
He'll kind of raise an eyebrow, and he's going to make a show of trying to decide between the last 2 cards, but he's eyeballing the table to see where the actual stack of the regular cards that have not been drawn yet is.
It's just directly in front of her.
Okay. And then he will reach out to show her the other two, and as he drops it, scrape the deck, the still stacked deck, back towards himself, and try and grab that.
Okay. Just so I'm absolutely sure, not the card she set aside.
Not the
just
5 that she
deck
set
itself.
aside, no.
Okay.
Just, he wants to hold the deck for a minute.
All right. You will. You know what? She's gonna let that happen.
Okay.
She will take a look. Interesting. But what interests you is not in what your fortune already is, but in control.
And he'll very distinctly set the deck in front of him, pull 5 more out, face down, hold them out to her. What happened to the Storm Piercer?
That hand is not where that answer is. It is over there.
He'll just sort of open-handedly gesture to it then and collect up all the cards and shove them back towards her.
She'll take that hand and lay it sort of between you two, placing her hand over it. You were handed cards, and then you were given a new hand. I assume you play at least some games.
From time to time.
You forfeit your second chance, regardless of what these cards are. You hand back what you had. Do you understand?
I think I catch your meaning.
I have met too many like you. Just because it is what you had first does not mean it is what's best for you. But I cannot stop you from looking. If there is still something to find. And she'll shove the cards over to you.
I'll pick up those 5 and take a look at them.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom save.
Okay. 15.
Given your particular magic and connections, you can almost feel the ocean in these cards. They feel wet, like not just like sogging wet paper, but like there is something roiling within them, like there is a storm there.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of as you turn them over, you can also feel that storm within your mind. Something being lost at sea. Looking, they make slightly more sense to you than the new cards. They are places, a pattern of stars. Leading somewhere. And as you're looking, the cloaked figure speaks again. She places her hands on the table. You will understand what you are giving up. You are giving up your future, your chance for whatever this may be. If I were to deal you in a game of poker and tell you these were the cards you got first and these were the cards you got second, it would not mean that the first cards were the better deal. Those cards may already have been failures. You have been given a second chance. What remains is whether you will take it or whether you would insist on what you had before.
He'll kind of fold the hand of 5 up closed in front of him. All right. I'll take the dealer's recommendations then. And without showing him, he just slides them face down back across the table.
She'll shuffle all the cards back together and pull 5 again, this time just placing them on the table. Even though she clearly has shuffled, they're the same 5 cards that were pulled a minute ago. Your second hand, the one sort of large blotch, the 2 swirls, and the speckled one, the 2 speckled ones.
Since I trust the situation, but Halistra doesn't, Halistra is doing a perception check.
Go ahead.
Halistra got a 13 with a +8.
Oh, we're rolling like gangbusters today, man.
The wisdom
are.
saves have been pretty solid.
Yes.
With the 13, nope, she seems to be completely shuffling these.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean you trust it anymore, because that may mean there's a god directly involved.
I mean,
magic.
Can I also do a perception check?
Sure.
That's a 22.
Scott, as far as you can tell, she is shuffling these cards.
Okay.
And as far as you can tell as well, these are the exact same cards Ragnar had before.
Okay.
Are they in the same order?
Yep. They're in the same order as you laid them out, not the order that you received them.
Okay. 1 blotch, 2 speckles, 2 swirls. Okay.
Yep. Sorry, Jeremy, did I...
Oh, no, you're fine. The That's the problem, is that she knows there's a god involved. She's hoping to find, she's just a charlatan. It's fine.
I can't wait for the conversation that happens when we leave this tent.
So has the meaning for the future reading changed then?
You still seem to be interested in what is underground, and there is still great calamity. But as I told your friend, unless you ask specific questions, I can only give you the answers as broad as the questions you ask.
One more question then. A bit more specific, and definitely with an eye towards the future. Is that bard likely to survive?
She will
No.
take the
Alyssa
cards,
just says no.
put them together, draw just one card, lay it face down on the table, flip it over. This one is, half of it is speckled and half of it swirls. And she, well, I cannot say anyone will or will not die exactly, but your friend travels towards a path that ultimately leads to his downfall. I sense that
VD is a bitch.
he must find some level of, well, it is not his fortune, but yours. So I will speak to you. There is a confidence to being self-assured. But there is a danger there too, I think you well realize.
Of course.
He certainly will not survive for long, given how powerful his destiny, if he remains unwilling to connect. But that is what I can tell you of his destiny, because that is where you are involved. I cannot say things that would be his future, just where his future intersects with yours.
Very well.
She leans forward in no.
And one final item then. What question should I have asked?
She'll put the cards together. pull out 3, turning them face up. These ones are each swirled and marbly. Well, the gods seem to think you should have asked how they were doing. The goddess seems to think that you should ask whatever you wish to know and no more. Though the practicality, may I say, that you should have asked about the end of the world and the gods dying and all of that, that seems to have been pretty relevant, but that is just what practicality says. Pay it to no mind. The goddess is more important.
Thank you for your time. And he'll stand up and turn to leave.
Okay.
Is there any sort of, like, donation box or alms coffer on the way out?
There is a small altar that has... It's not necessarily a tip jar, but does have a place that people have placed some gold.
Yeah, he'll just put 5 gold down in a straight line. Clink, clink,
All right.
clink, clink, clink.
Scott will stare at the table for at least a good, 30 seconds before turning and leaving.
All right.
Callister waits until they're gone. Lister, you tell your god I am not through having a conversation with that bitch. And I turn around and I walk out.
And in Undercommon behind you, you hear, whenever you are ready, she is ready to listen. And we will transition to Alistar, who... I apologize, you weren't involved in that part. You went drinking!
So then I said to him,
Yes!
then I said to the guy, I said, you can't do that to me. And then I fell asleep. So I don't know how that ended. But I did wake up in bed with him the next morning, so... Swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it?
The one other guy who's drinking a fair amount at this hour, because it is before noon, will... You have great stories, friend.
Haha, yes I do.
I was at the party years ago. Oh, and I had something like that happen to me. Let me tell you. And he will go into his own story about a wonderful night with this man and this woman who were a couple, but wanted more people to be a couple with them.
That's called a trio.
Yeah. It's a good one. The old spice them up. I like it. I'm a fan. Of course,
And usually them because
when that happens,
adventures must go on.
Unfortunately, in my case, normally in that scenario, both of them split up and they come to me separately and go and ask if we can be a thing, and I have to tell them no. It's it's tragic, absolutely tragic. But then we end up having sex all together again anyway, and they make up. It's all good. It's good.
As long as you leave them as you found them, it's perfectly fine.
It's only happened the 3 times, unless you count that 4th time, and I don't count that 4th time. For reasons.
No.
What was your name again?
Oh, my name does not. Jeremy, I hate you. That accent sticks around. My name doesn't
You're
matter.
welcome.
Friend. The drink matters. And he'll... Another round for the entire house. The mermaid looks around at the 4 people currently in the bar. Around for the house. Got it. And
Alistar cheers.
brings out 4 drinks. Because that's what she can do.
There is a capacity issue.
I'm sure.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna buy a round for the house, that's the cheap way to do it.
I'm sure my adventuring buddies were here somewhere. I had to meet them at a place. Oh no, I don't. No, I didn't. It's fine. Everything's good. I just have to be back on the ship before dawn. Yeah, that sounds like right. That's it.
Not even close.
I was gonna say, there is nothing accurate about that.
Well, no, there's a little bit accurate. He does have to be back on the ship.
True.
It would be better than him saying, I have to meet them at this tavern.
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, be sure to remember that through your drinks, friend.
I'll be honest, I'll probably forget. But it's okay.
I'm sure your friends know you will forget.
It's alright. I've got one of them destinies.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me that? That seems
Because
interesting.
I don't know anything about it, because I keep forgetting to read the book.
Hmm.
This book, clunk. That's me. Apparently.
Indeed
as I
it
understand
is. You very much seems like you.
Ignore the lip marks on the picture. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I make no judgments, friend.
I'm not sorry.
And he will sort of glance over the page. You are very old, then, to be alive for several eras.
Yes. Yes, I am.
And to have died a painful death, that seems like a odd thing to still be alive from.
What?
The last page. Part of the page.
No, you can't be reading it right. Oh,
The part where you die a painful death.
I thought that was an elaborate sexual position.
No, I imagine that would be a... No. I'm pretty sure that is about being drowned and tormented
Yeah.
and stabbed.
Yeah?
I don't think it was about sex.
How do you have sex?
I make no judgments. So, before we have all of my players fall over...
Oh, God.
I love Alistair so much.
Me too. So does he.
So, having head out, having your fortunes read, those of you that were willing,
I'm pretty sure all of us
Uh-huh.
just had our fortunes read.
Alystra avoided it.
That's
I
true.
did not consent to get my fortune read.
At least 3 of us
Consent
did
is,
then.
as Alistair many times tells us, very important.
Yes.
Consent is important.
Um,
Oh, God.
All right.
anything else you want to do?
Well, nobody has any
Ellis-
maps.
Yeah. Alystra's just keeping close to these two. Looking more on edge than usual, which is saying something.
Ragnar's going to pick a random direction and just start wandering. We've already tempted fate once today. You have that sort of thing is best done in the 3s.
Ska will follow Ragnar, but she looks like she's very much in her own head at this point, and you can hear her muttering under her breath in Giant.
All right. Randomly wandering around.
Yep.
Roll me a d20.
Kick ass. That's a 9.
Let's see where we wind up.
As
We run
you,
into a dragon.
you are reasonably leveled for dragon fighting.
I get to fuck a what now?
Okay.
You're not here.
If a dragon comes
You,
down, then I'm
as
definitely having
Ragnar,
sex
you
with it.
just turn down a small alleyway. You all see as this kid runs by, snatching in, not particularly subtle, below all of your passive perceptions,
Street rat.
snatching Hilistra's coin purse.
Oh, you
no.
picked the wrong day to fuck with the drow, kid. How
Moonbeam.
far does he get?
I was gonna
before
say.
I
Before you get a reaction, no time. Before you get an action, 5 feet. He's
All
within
right.
5 feet.
Let's see how pissed she is.
Dear God, if you murder a child.
See?
I don't buy that.
Okay.
Let's not be too hasty.
Oh shit. I don't have anything that doesn't do damage.
You know you can just grab them, right? You don't have to like actually cast anything at them.
Yeah, I could. Nope. Halistra, because it worked out so well. No, she'll choose something different. Halistra goes direwolf
Okay.
and leaps over the kid to the other side, and then just drops into like the ready to pounce stance, growling
The
aggressively.
kid sees a wolf jump in front of him and runs the other
A
direction.
giant wolf, good, because that's right back towards the other two.
Yep. Ragnar and Skala, there is a very scared pickpocket child running away from a wolf.
And we're in an alley, right?
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
a thin alley. It's large enough for Hilistra's direwolf form, but barely. Like,
Okay. Yep. Ragnar's just gonna plant himself dead center, and as soon as the kid is within probably 10 feet or so, just give him the most blatant, "Alright, you, stop, you little bastard!" and try and intimidate the kid into stopping.
make me an intimidation check.
That's a 20-5.
He falls on his butt, just.
And I take a couple steps forward.
Now, young one, you're gonna give the nice wolf back its coin purse, and then we'll find you something to eat. You understand?
If this is anyone's first episode, we're not good guys.
I think they figured that out when we explained that the drow was one of the most morally centered characters in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll.
We're not necessarily bad guys, though. We're just not good guys.
Despite my best efforts, you were neither bad guys or good guys. Slowly take out the purse and slowly hand it over in the direction of the wolf.
How old does
And
this kid
the
look?
purse sort of falls to the ground, a little ways in front of you.
Doesn't shift out, just sort of eases back for the moment.
How old does this kid look?
It's hard to tell with halfling kids. Somewhere around less than 10, probably.
Oh, this is a halfling child?
Yeah.
Okay, Ragnar is going to one hand. Does it look particularly gendered one in any direction?
She,
Okay.
girl, maybe.
Yep.
Let's just go with that.
Ragnar will grab the halfling child by her collar and literally like just one-hander up off the ground and start walking down the alley in the direction of the nearest food stand.
Okay. Nearest food stand would probably be the bar.
Okay.
Unless either of you, Sky or Holistra, makes a move to stop this from happening.
Nope. Scott will pick up the coin purse
That's fine.
and just start walking.
Yeah.
Because figuring
little
Holistra's not
struggling
gonna pick it up. So.
Urchin comes into the bar accompanied by a dwarf, but a dwarf that is easily carrying this child, Alistar.
And I saved them. I saved them all.
No, you didn't. And we
then
walk towards the bar.
What?
And
Your
just
friend
set-
has told me some great stories. Let me get you a drink as well.
Food for the young one
Ah.
first.
Hey, it's my brave adventuring party and Holistra.
Then comes the barbarian, then comes the dire wolf.
Yeah. How much coin is in this purse?
Single.
Okay. So it's not that heavy. All right. She'll kind of put it in her pocket because at the moment, you know,
Yeah.
she doesn't want to walk around with holding it, but you're a wolf, so she
Yes.
can't hand it back to you. So she'll put it in
Right.
her pocket for now. All right.
You know, I just had the vision of like if instead Druid's form could like take things out and in while in form, and you just throw the coin purse at the druid and it goes shloop.
Vanishes into the
Or
fur
the fur.
somewhere.
Just,
Yep.
no, snatches it, like, bites it out of the air. Looks
Yeah, I
like
was
she's,
gonna
looks like she's swallowing it.
Yeah, you just swallow it, and then it just
Yeah.
winds up in your pocket someplace.
Nope.
Yeah.
That would be funny though.
It would.
So, yep. No one looks too disturbed by the direwolf in the bar. Sea folk. They don't really give a shit.
Apparently, she can do that.
She can. And Scott will kind of absentmindedly pet the wolf.
How was I ever supposed to know that? I was just trying to be a hero. Trying to save everybody, save the world, save myself.
You're
So,
still in
most of
trade
us-
in there, Alistair.
The barmaid will come around with food for everyone. Illustrate, you get something that looks like
cheers, love.
they just took a rabbit and chopped off the head. But
Works for her.
something suitable for a wolf that they cooked up very quickly.
Cooked, uncooked, whatever.
Uncooked, but like they don't have wolf food on hand.
Right.
Yep.
Not so much
Oh.
cooked, but at least marginally dressed.
I mean, it's not like I'm assuming that in Breakverse there isn't a company that makes wolf kibble. So
Not yet, but now there will
really.
be.
I was gonna say wolf
And
kibble.
they're
I
not
like it.
gonna serve wolf kibble to the probably a druid.
yeah,
Um,
good, because that would be offensive.
Yes.
They're just gonna hand you a
Thank you.
dead rabbit.
He starts eating.
And drinks as well.
So how hungry does this young halfling girl appear once there's food in front of her?
Pretty hungry, but also like a wolf is about to eat her and a little nervous.
I
So
mean, that is not an inaccurate
she's
description.
definitely looking at the food and back at the wolf.
Ragnar,
Yeah.
why
With Scott absentmindedly petting the wolf.
is
Yeah,
there a
that's not
child? What? Why? I don't understand. Why are we kidnapping children now?
Bless you.
We're
that-
feeding this one.
Oh, okay. Wait. What? Hang on.
Alistar, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
I want to know the answer to that question. It's very important I know the answer to that question. If we're kidnapping children, I'm not into it. It's
We're
not
not
okay.
kidnapping anyone.
Okay.
I think all of you need more drinks.
Mm,
Another
yeah.
round on the house.
For giving the child candy, and that's needed to come on our boat.
As the
Nope.
No.
I'm a terrible
Other game
person.
so Alistar's drinking buddy is this dwarven man with a large, sort of full red beard and just long hair, braided in places, but it kind of looks like it's braided mostly so it stays out of his food and alcohol more than like because he's taking care of it.
Sounds
It's
about
not
right.
an aesthetic, it's a management technique.
Yeah. No. The barmaid looks around, brings out 3 additional glasses of alcohol. You know, you could order rounds when there's people here. But I get more stories this way.
Alright, young lass, what's your name?
Daria.
Alright, Daria. Now, obviously you bit off a bit more than you can chew today. So you're going to have to pick your targets with greater discernment in the future. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You want
I
someone
messed
who
up.
is obviously drunk and will not notice what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hang
Alright.
on, kid. Were you playing hooky? Hooky bag. You know, hooky bag. Is that the game?
Enough with your half-elf rhyming slang.
What? Huh?
So,
No, it's nicking stuff.
yes, that's what we're talking about, Alistar.
I used to do that. It didn't last long.
That's very understandable given your sensitive disposition.
It's
And he
much
kind of
better
turns to
if you
turns
convince
to
them
Drea and basically does the like that guy. Steal shit from that guy.
If you can convince them to just give it to you, they're much happier about the whole thing, and everyone's all right. It's great.
Which
Much
is
better.
not actually a bad piece of advice as well.
Recommend it highly.
She gives a sort of nod.
Alright, eat your stew. It's gonna get cold.
Hey. And she starts eating.
So, Alistair, how have you been finding
yeah.
your time ashore?
Vibrant.
Excellent. Enjoy it while you can. It won't last long.
Well, why not?
Oh, the lady at the temples told us you're gonna die soon.
Who? I mean, look, I've got all that written down in these books here. It's fine. I don't need to know any of that shit.
Ah, very good then. Well, glad I'm not
Look,
surprising
look.
you.
Read this book. Listen to this bit.
Alright.
And then did the great saviour plough forth across the world before the advent of his untimely and awful death. Oh, this is fucking horrible. Why am I reading this? I'm going to stop.
You said you keep forgetting the book. That is why you're reading it, so you remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to read when you're not drunk.
No, it's not. I've tried.
Actually, I'll agree with him on that one.
Scott will just look at you both.
You try reading
You
about
need
your
to
own...
drink
Okay.
more, I think.
You
is the
try
question
reading about your own
there.
damn death with pictures. Why are there pictures?
Wait, there are pictures? And Scott will
Yes.
completely forget about the wolf standing next to her and go over and look at the book.
There's a picture of Alistar with apparently lip marks on it.
What kind of savages?
Is that the
Pictures.
only picture, though?
That's the main picture on this page.
Scott will kind of flip through. She wants to see what other pictures are in
That
this.
handsome man. Look at that other
They're
handsome man.
mostly
Look,
portraits. Seems to be of various figures. Men, women, other people. None that you necessarily recognize as you flip through, but pictures of
Are they-
people.
They're just portraits of people? Nothing like action shots or anything like that?
No, there's no action shots. There's action in the words, which are in common, but
Mm. Skal kind of flip through and looking at the pictures, going, "Portraits are boring," and go back to the wolf.
You wouldn't say that if you saw some of the portraits I've been in.
I've seen some of the portraits you've been in. I don't ever want to see those again, and I'd like to get the ones that are in my head already out.
Good luck.
Alistair, anything in your book about a giant immortal serpent that can swallow people whole and then Ralph them back up?
That is the most weirdly specific question I've been asked about a book in my life.
You're welcome, then.
What? Hang on, let me go to the index. Ralphing surf. Ralphing.
Ska's going to sit down next to Halistra in wolf form and just, like, not absent-mindedly anymore, actually petting the wolf.
There's a roaring hangover. How's that?
Helistra does not seem to mind.
Thematically matches, I suppose, but I'm looking for more about the giant ass snake.
Oh, snake! Oh, you should have said
Snake or a sea serpent, one of the two.
Sea serpent snakes.
I'm just glad that Alistair said, "Oh, snake," and not, "Oh, ass snake."
I'm looking on the D. Hang on. D. A. D.
Remember that the index of this particular book is not all that helpful. Most of how you find a particular page is by sort of scanning that person. As you may remember, your face was shoved in this book to attune it to have your information in it.
I may remember that at some point, but not yet.
As the player may remember.
Oh, well, yes. Okay, yeah, go on then. I will scan the book for a raging sea serpent.
Alright, well, we've had ourselves a lovely meal. We've sampled some of the local culture. I think it's about time we're on our way, unless something else crops up.
I assume you got passage from the temple? If you're headed further in.
Sorry, passage what?
Temple of Dotrix. It's... You ask the lady. You might have noticed no one has good maps.
The what now?
Aye, but we were just gonna sail in the rough direction and trust the luck.
That is a fair way to sail. I will not have an undercommon accent. I'm not going to question your way of things, brother.
I have a feeling Halistra's going to die a horrible screaming death just so that Aaron doesn't have to do this accent anymore.
Nope, you have already established this in the world. Halistra dying would not change it. Yeah. Though Halistra may get punched in the throat if you wish.
Question, in the giant world map in the Dead Man's Revenge cabin, is the Deeplands Embassy Island on the map?
Yeah, the island itself is definitely on the map.
Okay.
It is one of the larger islands.
Right.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, I'm confident in our navigator's ability to get us there, considering that they've got the necessary information already locked in, as it were. What about the rest of you three? Anything else to cover or handle before we disembark? Embark? Whichever.
Not going to stay for drinks tonight. I can assure you the place gets much more rowdy.
Tempting.
I think if we get some other food for the ship.
Ragnar.
There's only so much I can do with rice and fish.
Ragnar, we should stay, but we've got to be back on the ship. We got to be back
Ship.
in my house by dawn.
My house.
Before sundown. An hour before sundown.
Dawn, that's what I said.
Of course you did.
I used to know someone called Dawn.
Is there a place where we can gather provisions?
There's a provisioner just down the road. I stopped in there before we went to the temple.
I'd like to get some other food for the ship.
Beer and salted pork. Sounds like a plan to me. What was that,
Yes.
Alistair?
I believe that was a growl.
I was asking not for a repeat, but for further elucidation.
Well, seeing as she's a
Let
wolf at the
them
moment.
talk.
Alistair, what were you trying to communicate with that?
Dissatisfaction with the idea of just salted pork and beer.
Well, we already have rice and fish.
I mean, yeah, that's great.
He'll sort of look. Well, I think your friend just was commenting on the food choices.
Very well. Salted pork, beer, and wine. And he walks out of the tavern.
There's a brief moment, like she looks like the wolf looks like she's considering whether that's better, and seems to go with it for now.
Yeah.
Ska will kind of pet Hallistra and go, "Don't worry, I'll get more than just that."
I can't tell. Are we staying here or what? What?
I think your friends want you back by
Elizabeth-
sundown.
Gets up,
Party.
gets
Sorry,
up to
what?
her feet, goes out, grabs Alistair's shirt, clothing. I don't. That's an important question. Are his arms covered with clothing?
Yes.
Okay, he doesn't go sleeveless.
Not
Okay.
currently.
I just wanted to make sure because this is Alistair. And just starts dragging him out of the.
Come by later. Or during the lunch
sorry.
rush.
I'm sorry,
be here.
Hallistra. I love you. I'm sorry. Sorry about everything.
He's a weepy drunk. Great.
Put me down. Put me down.
He's not picking you up, just dragging you along.
He's like being dragged along the floor. Like,
That's okay. She can do that. Her strength is
Yeah.
17 right now.
I bet.
Oh.
Nice.
Direwolves are pretty badass.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I love how Hallistra in direwolf form has the same strength as Ska.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
But not as much as Ragnar.
Alistar, as you are dragged out, you do see, you saw it earlier, but it may not have registered. And whether or not it registers now is up to you. But you do see the temple with the. It's sort of more of a tent than a traditional temple, off on the side, with the symbol of Dautrix, the 3 rings of the triple goddess.
Okay. I attempt to stand up.
I assume that happens.
Hallistra. This.
If she stops and looks over.
Is that the place where you can tell me the future?
Grabs arm, starts dragging away
Oh,
from temple.
that's a yes, isn't it? Wait, it's either a yes or there's someone in the well. Is there someone in the well? Is Jimmy in the well? Hallistra, if Jimmy's in the well, you gotta tell me. Hallistra, come on, look, the kid's life is at risk here. Hallistra, tell me, is he in the well?
Going to try to knock Alistair over so she can then grab him by the leg. Again, clothing.
Right.
So
Grab him by the
far,
boot.
she's not annoyed yet. And start dragging him away from the temple.
Okay. Alistar, make me an acrobatics or athletics with disadvantage.
Because drunk.
Athletics.
Because technically the poison status, yes.
God
Athletics from Hallistra.
damn it, Bard.
You have a strength of 17.
Oops, that's not with
Good.
advantage, but I only have a +5, and you know how I roll. But in this case, I rolled a 24 total.
Yes, I do know how you roll. That was a 19 on the dice.
Yes.
So there
So
you go.
just being dragged along. Like,
Yep.
Jimmy!
Boom.
Jimmy!
Grab. Growling the whole way until we're out of sight of the temple.
And back inside the bar, Ska's looking at this tiny halfling girl.
Mm-hmm. She
Pulls
seems to have
out-
started eating once the wolf has found other.
She'll
Things
she'll
to not
pull
own.
out 5 gold
Mm-hmm.
and put it on the table next to the girl.
The girl very quickly snatches it up, hides it away.
And she'll just kind of lean down and say, "Work on your timing. Don't get caught again. Not everyone will be as nice as we were." And walk out.
And you leave the little girl with more money than most people earn in their lifetime.
Yep.
Yep.
Adventurers breaking the economy since they invented it.
And now I have to math because my brain isn't working. The calculators are a thing.
Okay. So, there's a wolf that for now is dragging a bard along. There's a paladin that's going somewhere, check.
Yes, Ragnar is looking for a provisioner.
Oh,
Probably the same guy he talked to about maps earlier, or somebody
Yeah.
pretty close to him.
they're all easy enough to find. The guy you talked to about maps earlier mostly like builds ships.
Oh, okay.
He has some basic food stuff for sale, but that's not really what. But he will point you in the direction of someone who has a variety of goods, baked goods, dried fruits, stuff like that for sale.
All right, lad. So I'm looking for 1 month's supply for board ship. 6 hands altogether. I need salted meats, wine and ale both, dried fruits if you have them, lemons, oranges, limes, that sort of thing. Fighting off the scurvy, understand? That's the general layout. No animals of note aboard the ship that will require grain or provender, so I think we'll be all right there.
And the person will understood and start sort of digging out a few barrels to meet what you have requested. And in terms of scurvy and lemons, that sort of thing, we offer for just a little extra blessing services. So, and he'll pull out a smaller barrel, more like a bag of apples sized. I guess it's a bag of lemons, so sized like a bag of lemons would be. With the marking, make me a religion check.
Okay. That's a 10.
Alright. Yeah, since you came back to life, essentially, you've been around the sea folk, so this isn't hard to recognize. You recognize the mark of Sigtua, who's a goddess of nature and rod and harvest and those sorts of things, you know. The fruit won't go bad as long as it's in the bag, meaning that you can purchase more at once and it will survive longer. It will only work with natural ingredients, fruits, stuff like that. But
Bit of a preservation charm on there, then. Oh, that's very ingenious. Well, all right. And, say, a reasonable supply of fresh water as well, just in case.
of course, the supplies you requested come to 2 gold overall, and the bag itself is a magical item, so it would cost 10 gold.
Alright, so 12 for the lot.
Indeed.
Coming up a bit short. Could you make it an even 10?
He'll look at you. What have you got to offer me, friend? Always willing to bargain, but not for nothing.
Alright. I'm going to try and trade him 4 frog hemoth teeth.
Okay, make me a persuasion roll. That's going to be contested by his insight, I guess.
13. Jesus, I'm rolling like shit today.
Yeah. It's not a 1.
This is true.
4 teeth and 11 for 11 gold.
Fair enough. You drive a hard bargain, friend, but I'll take it.
Yeah. And he'll offer to have someone load the stuff onto your ship, or you can load it yourself if you want.
Yeah, I'll let somebody load it.
Okay. Ragnar, you're familiar enough with the exchange rates to know that that's a reasonably good deal out here. Like,
Okay.
on the mainland where all of that stuff is easy to get, that would be a little steep. But they don't exactly have large grain fields or lots of fruit trees. So they've got to import all of this stuff too.
And you said the bag holds like basically a bushel, more or less,
Yeah.
probably.
Mm-hmm. You could take it for something larger, like, say if you found a watermelon, you could probably fit a watermelon in it.
Right.
But what's the biggest fruit I can think of off the top of my head?
Probably a watermelon.
Yep.
But yeah, it essentially holds like a bushel of apples or
Okay.
something like that.
All right. So, yep, I will get all of that loaded on.
Great.
And then see where everybody else has gotten off to, probably.
Okay.
Drag. Backing up, gangplank.
Alistair, are you still trying to resist?
What's the check to ride a wolf?
That would be... Given the wolf is currently biting you, that's going to be a contested grapple check. So, acrobatics in your case.
I feel like the roll for that is a death saving throw.
That happens after you got bitten by a wolf. You actually have to get bitten first for that to happen.
Yeah.
I attempt to ride the wolf.
Sure, make me athletics, Halistra. This is still, you're still grappling him. It's just a turnaround of the grapple. So athletics.
I've been planning this for a little bit.
Oh.
And I'm not going to give you a disadvantage for being drunk because I feel like this is the cause of this.
Damn it. Oh, wait, never mind. Could have been more impressive, but didn't need to be.
You lose that grip for a second, and when you get your claws back on Alistar's pant leg, he's riding you.
Hold on. I need to make a roll.
As I say, I come out of the bar and see this happening.
Ha! I don't know why I said that, but I did.
Wow. Does this happen before or after I come out of the bar?
Sky, you're a little ways off. You're out of the bar, but you're not in the same part of town right now because they were down. They're
That's
down
fine.
at the.
That's
How
fine.
close to the boat are we at this point?
Ship.
I'll say you're on the docks. You'd have to go down one of the docks to get to your
Okay.
boat ship.
So
Shit.
Halistra just takes off. It's fine. There's a fucking half elf on my back. It's fine. I was right. Right, half elf.
Yep.
Okay. Takes off, running down the dock toward the ship. Running. Oh, look, we ran past the gangplank towards the end of the ship, and she stops.
Okay. Alistar, I'm
How
gonna make
long
that.
does How long does that take?
She has a movement speed of, I think,
40, 50?
50 probably.
50 feet, and she's dashing.
Mm.
Ba-da-dum.
Essentially, it takes Alistra's turn. So I'm gonna say, make me a strength save, Alistar.
All right. Get in the sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go twirling off of the wolf.
Perfect.
That's beautiful. That's the best 4 we've ever had.
Jimmy! Jimmy!
The very definition of ass over tea kettle.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
I
man.
come up out of the water.
Once she actually comes surfaces, she's back in drow form again.
Oh, I think
Just
that's
staring
so good
down.
of it. Thank you, Halistra. I appreciate that. That was very kind of you.
You are a stupid man. You are aware of these, right?
Hey. Oh no, I get what you're doing. I get it. It's fine. It's 'cause
I
you
am
love-
not joking. I am not
Yeah.
anything. I am being as dead serious as possible.
Good one. I like it.
She goes and stalks off to the boat.
Okay.
I sprint for the temple.
All right. Alistar, he runs directly in the direction that you were dragging him away from. Fuck. Halistra.
Oh, it happened. It finally happened.
She briefly considers sword whipping him to pull him back. And then thinks about it as like, nope, if he dies, it's his own fault. Or hears something he doesn't want to hear, or has anything that prophecy bitch does. That's internal thoughts.
Yeah.
And she just goes onto the boat.
All right. So, Scott, you see a blur of fancy armor as your bard runs past you.
Oh, he seems to have sobered up quickly. And she'll wander toward the provisioner.
Yep. You'll meet up with him as he's sort of finalizing stuff with Ragnar. But we're going to return to the temple now. Alistar, from the outside, it's a large tented structure. Just heading in.
Sure it is. He's not looking. Just runs in.
Okay. Inside, you have dark vision, so it's not a problem, but there's smoke and incense, and everything's dimly lit with candles. There's no one currently inside, but just the sort of soft hum of music, seemingly coming from a drow woman. You can see now that her cloak is down, sitting in the corner with a harp. She'll look up as you come in. Oh, good. I was expecting you.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Alistair. Nice to meet you.
Delighted to meet you as well. Aya. Ritzel.
Yes. Excellent. I was told that you told my...
The future?
Yes, that thing.
Indeed. You seem to lose your mind quite regularly. It will be fine. And she will sort of look. Would you like privacy, or do you mind?
I've never minded anything in my life that some people wanted privacy for. Ever.
All right. Well, then we can get started. And she will pull out.
Yeah.
What sort of looks like a chess set, setting it in front of you, and some small tokens.
Never was good at well, much.
Do not worry. I will play. There is no sides to the game. It is all the future as the fates put it.
Right.
Now, what questions do you have?
Okay, so right, this book thing, right? It's about like a destiny or a future
Significant
thing.
figures from the past, yes.
Significant figures.
And she will start putting out these tokens seemingly at random points over the board. And?
Yeah, that. So what I need to know is how does this affect me? You know, the me that's here now, the real me. What's the deal? Also,
a few more of these things clack down in a. You can't figure out the pattern of the placement, but you can hear the rhythm.
He gets super clear for a minute, and he's like, "There is also one thing. What's with all the world-ending nonsense? Because everyone keeps mentioning it, and it's very distracting. Everyone's talking about, oh, the gods are dead, or the world's going to end, or something, and I'm just here like, what? Sorry, no, the other thing first, then that. Who are you again?
My name is Ristel. But your two questions are not entirely separate. You... The you that is here now has returned for... Perhaps it would be best to say because the you that was here before promised to. You felt that you wished for adventure, for heroism, yes?
Yes.
That is the reminder, the encouragement of you to pursue your destiny. Your destiny will happen whether or not you pursue it, but pursuing it usually makes it easier and better outcomes all around than trying to avoid.
So hang on. So you're saying I have to try and die horribly?
No, you have to try and seal great evil because the world is ending there. Or the era is ending. It would be more appropriate to say the era is ending.
Whose era?
Yours, mine, ours.
Wait, who calls the era?
The era is a measure of time. The way that a year or a week is a measure of time, an era is a long measure of time.
Ah, you learn something every day.
A few of us have seen this end. Divine displeasure, catastrophe, the tearing up of the plains, broken seals on ancient evil, and discord and death and everything.
Huh.
And you play a role in preventing it. That is why you return. Or rather, you play a role.
I can play this. He gets out his little violin thing.
You know music. Good. That is easier. And she will put the sort of chessboard to the side and start playing a tune on her own harp. And she goes, especially with the more improvisational music, I can end a song many ways. It is still a song, and the song still ends, and the next song still begins. But I can make the ending happier or sadder or based on what you do. Right?
I have never understood anything as clearly as what you just said.
I am glad I helped.
Why doesn't everyone talk like this? This is amazing.
Not all are blessed with the goddess's gifts.
I've got to get Scar like a slide whistle or something. Like maybe a harmonica.
She...
I could get Hillis or something, but
in a band, not all the instruments can... They can all play alone, but they make a melody together.
Wow. Let's not go so far as melody, but okay, sure.
If you're singing and you're also playing, and the way she speaks, I can't do it because curse Jeremy and this accent, is sort of in tune with the music she is playing. She is singing as she does this.
Right.
If you are singing and you're playing, but the two do not match up, that is conflict, that is struggle. It makes the music less. Right?
Yes.
And if there is another instrument playing alongside you or another singing, and it is discordant, that makes the music less as well.
Yes. So what you're saying is...
And if you snip another instrument, that is bad, isn't it?
I mean, it depends what they've done to me, but yes.
If they are playing alongside you, but you create discord by snipping the instrument.
Never sabotage the band. Never ever sabotage the band. That's a
Indeed.
bad idea.
Never sniff another man's
this
instrument.
is all true for your destiny. This is all true for adventures.
Right, okay. So...
There is a silence in the past of your song.
So I've got to fill the silence.
No, you have to remember why there was silence.
Okay.
And...
I'm not good at remembering.
You struggle.
Who are you?
That is fine. I have many things to tell you. The future is coming. But you can make the song end more happily and a better song next by applying yourself.
Okay. I get what you're saying. My question is what happens to the lead guitarist?
Lead guitar?
Sorry, I didn't know where that came from.
I was under the impression you were the vocalist. Would the guitar not be your axe-wielding friend?
Yeah, sorry, go with that. Go with the lead vocal, the lead singer. Yeah. What happens to the lead singer?
That was a solid musical pun, Aaron. I'm impressed.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I said that was a solid musical pun. I'm
Yes.
impressed.
Aaron, for not liking puns, they did a very good job. That was a good pun.
Sorry, go ahead.
You were saying?
It was supposed to be a reference to the 5-man band trope.
Oh no, I know. But
Yes,
a guitar
Axe being
is an
lead
axe.
guitar.
Yes, I am aware.
Yes.
Ragnar's over here.
Yeah, what musical instrument proficiency did you take? Because I don't think it's in the setting.
Nope.
Alyssa's
Axes.
really, really angry bassist who doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Scott's
so
the
moving
drummer.
back to the scene that's happening right now.
Yes.
Sorry.
So, what happens to the lead singer? Well,
Yes.
if the song ends very sadly, perhaps the singer goes with the song. But if the song
I like
ends
that.
better or differently, I will not make judgments about what paths are the best paths. The singer may be fine. But if the singer ignores the band and cannot play in harmony with the band, the singer will be lost or the band will be lost again. Do you understand?
I think I do. I've got to create the greatest band on the planet.
You have the greatest band on the planet. You need to cooperate with them.
Let's not
The
go
world
crazy.
is fucked.
I can
Wait.
only explain so much.
You mean our band is the greatest band on the planet?
If we take yourself out of the analogy, you have the potential to be yes.
Well, hey, that's not cool.
Shade.
Not cool. What's a band without a vocalist? What do I need to find another vocalist? What's going? Hang on, does that mean I'm not the vocalist?
You're the manager.
Oh,
You're
you're
the
the
vocalist.
roadie.
Try not to die.
Ah,
That is what I can tell you.
so if I turn my gang into the greatest band on earth, then I might not die.
Yes. Do you
I think-
understand what an analogy is, child?
I'm so dead. No.
An analogy is when one thing represents or speaks for another. You'll do it in song all the time. Your heart is shattering like glass. Your heart not made of glass, yes, but it shattered like glass.
Really?
That is a song. It is one song. You see butterflies when you see her or him. Does that make... But it is not because there are really butterflies. Butterflies.
Butterflies.
Because the butterflies are really there. It is analogy. It is symbol.
Cymbals are on the drums, aren't they?
Yes, they're two different meaning of the same word. I
Different
can
words
only explain to you
spelled.
that this is an analogy.
Homophone.
This is a symbol.
Homophone.
This is not entirely literal. Oh, you do not actually need a band. You need a team. You need
The words you're
world
thinking
savings.
of are metaphor and simile.
Yes, I know. I'm
I
not
know.
trying to say the word metaphor in that accent. If you would like to attempt it later, Holistra can try and re-explain this.
It is a metaphor.
Okay, right. I think what you're saying.
Simile is the hard one.
I think what you're saying is that I've got to form a band.
I cannot direct how you interpret fate.
But
Okay.
he's wrong in this case.
I'm sensing some sort of. Okay, I
The
think I've
most
got.
important thing is this part, and one of the strings on her harp will snap. That is bad. You don't want
Yes.
to make that happen more.
No.
Be careful about that. And she will start restringing it.
Did you just snap it? Ah,
No, Fate snapped it.
man.
I was making a point about how I should not speak so frankly, but the goddess gives me leave to do so, so whatever. Your friend died. It was not your fault, of course, but there is a certain level of responsibility for making sure the other ones stay alive. That comes from being aware and having agency.
So you're
Do not
saying
kill off the band more times. It will get you killed.
wait. Is Hallistra in the band?
The Draugr?
Yeah.
I think so. Maybe. It is up to her.
Ah. She looks like a saxophonist. Okay. I'm on board. Let's do
I
this.
lost this analogy. I apologize.
Let's do. No, I'm in. Let's create the greatest band. He taps his nose really hard.
Go.
The world's
Do-
ever seen.
Speak to your friends about what you have learned. And if you do intend to go further into the Underdark, you might want to come by and get your paperwork in order. But it is not my thing to demand.
What now?
Don't worry about it. And she will sort of start slowly guiding you out the door.
Goodbye.
Feel free to leave now.
Thank you for your help.
Of course.
I will
Anytime.
form the greatest band you've ever seen.
Somewhere up in the divine realm, Star Trek is going, this is not going to help me with anything. Whatever. But that has happened.
Yes, it has.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh boy.
I assume Ragnar's probably finished loading up the ship by now.
Yep.
Scott's gonna look and see if there's anything. Like, she figured that Ragnar has gotten all the normal provisions.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott wants to see if there's anything exotic, like anything that you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah, there's various exotic things. There's shark. There's various assortments of bird. There's selections of still living crabs and crawdads, stuff like that.
Is there any like fruits or like chocolate or anything that's not something that would be standard, but would be something more
Make me
special?
an investigation.
Investigation. That's a 4.
The only place you're able to find something like that is there are a few things on the menu at the bar that are more along those lines, fruit cakes, stuff like that.
Mm. All right. Then she'll actually then go back to the bar. She'll get a fruitcake to go.
Okay.
You've already got me.
No, not. Never mind.
4 copper.
All right, 4 copper. She won't even haggle.
Good. Fruit cakes are expensive here.
Fruit's kind of a commodity.
Yeah. Yep, fruit is a thing.
Unless you've got a druid on hand.
Even then.
And then she's just gonna wander around a little bit and see what other shops are in town and see if
Okay.
anything catches her eye.
Sure. Make me another investigation, I guess.
All right. Please roll better. That's an 8. That's better.
It's mostly practical. Obviously, the most out of the ordinary building is the Temple to Dautrix. You see a few different places that sell weapons, nothing that seems to be spelling anything particularly fancy, but harpoons, tridents, swords, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, no, not really seeing anything that catches her eye. She's going to go to the temple and see if she can find Alistar.
Okay. You probably, Alistar, you probably have just sort of left the temple as Ska is doing this.
Okay.
So as you are guided outside, Scott, Alistar, you're both standing outside of a temple.
What time is it?
It's maybe 1 in the afternoon by now.
Okay, so we still have a couple more hours. Okay. So, how did your fortune reading go?
I've got to create the greatest band in the world.
Uh-huh.
And you're in it.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you're playing yet, but you're in it, and that's what matters.
Well, the only thing I know how to play is the drums.
Harmonica, got it.
No, the drums.
I hear what you're saying, but I really feel like you're more of a harmonic. You know what? It's your choice. You play the drums. That's fine. How do you like to play the drums?
Sure, you want to buy me some drums? I'll play the drums.
I can do that.
She'll kind of shake her head and just like, you know, that thing that people do when they're really just trying so hard not to scream, where they like pinch the bridge of their nose. That's what she does.
Okay. So, does anyone have anything they want to do before the ship heads, or before an hour before sundown?
Nope.
Apparently, we're gonna go and try to find some drums, eh?
Yeah,
What
Yep.
do you think that?
Hilistra's just chilling on the boat.
Okay.
Ship.
On the deck. Boat.
Ship.
It is still notable to you that while it is daytime, it is not bright out.
She's
This
going on
entire time you've been on the island.
the roof of the boat.
The deck
Yep.
of the ship. Scott's just gonna try and get Alistar back onto the ship with promises of food.
Okay.
Ragnar's going to load the provisions on, and
Yep.
then go and
Easy,
check
yeah.
and make sure he can get this thing to the Deeplands Embassy Island without needing extra help.
I mean, seems to be on the locations as you've sort of found, like, seem to update in real time. Like, the few times there's been, like, a dolphin or something near your boat, that's on the maps.
Uh-huh. Cool.
So, seems fine.
All right. And once everybody's on board, he's going to go push the auto-nav button.
Leave
I
it
have
early.
faith in our navigator. Our navigator is Tesla.
Yep.
I like that we're leaving early once everyone's back on.
Hey Siri, get me directions to the Deeplands Embassy.
I'm really glad I don't have my headphones off because Theory won't turn off on my iPad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all, unless Alistar is fighting to do otherwise,
No, I'm good.
you all managed to make it back to the boat. where rations have been prepared. Boat ship, where rations have been prepared.
Yup.
Splendid.
Yeah, Scott will go down straight to the kitchens and see what all Ragnar actually got and start making like a meal plan.
Awesome.
Cool.
She's used to being a cook. She has no issues with it at all.
Sky is getting acquainted with the kitchenette.
The galley.
Kitchenette.
Kitchenette is my favorite. My favorite yet.
Yeah.
It's not called a kitchen because there isn't a wall making it a kitchen. The kitchenette.
Scott's deeply amused by the bag.
Dude, that bag is super helpful. That bag is
That bag is so cool.
Yep.
Alistar sees Scar in the kitchen and starts composing a song about being home on the range.
God damn it.
Well done. Well done.
Nice. I'll give you a tiny clap for that.
But yeah, if everybody is on board, Ragnar is going to go down to the navigation cabin and just tap on the
pilot.
Deeplands Embassy Island.
You think that you're still a few days out, but you press the button, undock, and head on your way.
Sounds good. He's going to set up this cabin as his cabin then.
Okay.
Drag a cot in there or whatever. Make sure there's a hammock hung or something.
All right.
Captain's cabin.
Captain's cabin. There is one, but I decided I wanted to be near the maps that pilot the ship.
Yes. I want to sleep next to the steering wheel, please. Thank you.
I mean, it's a lot better idea when the steering wheel is like underground, under decks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Excellent.
you guys get going.
Yep.
So, as you head out, you spend sort of the rest of the day into that night on the ship without incident, unless there's anything you would like to do. Or...
Ragnar will spend some free time fishing.
Okay.
Well, after Ska makes food for everyone, she'll do her normal bring a plate to Halistra and bring a plate to Alistar. And it's like a little combination of everything, fish and rice and fruits and whatever. And there's a nice big chunk of fruitcake. And then when she goes to Ragnar to bring him his plate, where would he be at that point?
He would probably be up on deck, towards
deck?
towards the stern.
Okay.
Just kind of watching the main body of the vessel and points forward.
Right. She'll come up to you with a plate of food. Hey, Ragnar, I have food for you.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
You got good stuff. It'll be a much better spread with the new stuff.
Pleased to hear you approve, then. Ragnar's going to investigate the fruitcake. Is it like a good quality fruitcake, or is it like this should be used as a paperweight?
You can make me an investigation roll, I guess.
I rolled a 3.
It's gonna be delicious.
There's fruit in it.
We will risk our teeth.
Your teeth are safe.
Splendid.
So I had a question. Your fortune.
Hey.
How accurate do you think it was for you?
I'd say I've a bit more faith in my ability to sail a few points closer to the wind than that lass had with a deck of cards, but all depends on whether she was relying off of her own intuition or if she actually does have a line to a goddess.
Well, I asked because she said something that is just sitting weird with me.
You
know how I asked? No, it's not the fruitcake. You know how I asked if my family was alive?
Aye.
And she said my sister was?
Wasn't. She said your sister wasn't.
Or wasn't?
But
yeah,
your sister, your great-grand something. She gave a few examples that not everyone was.
Okay.
But
let me rephrase then. You know how she mentioned my sister?
Hey.
I didn't know I had one of those. So I don't know whether or not to believe it.
Well, it's a lot easier to prove that you do have a sibling than that you don't.
It's harder if they're dead.
Doesn't necessarily change the fact, though.
I guess.
Is that a bit of your own personal history that you feel inclined to chase down?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to.
Oh, that's fair.
But I've been gone a long time. I don't even know if I'd recognize anyone, or if they'd recognize me.
If they did, what would you do?
I honestly don't know anymore. My life has changed so much since I left the trees.
Well, you're gonna need some time to think on that then.
Yeah. Thank you. And she'll kind of give you like a little hug.
He will be very surprised, but not jump.
Thank you. It's an awkward hug because you're like more than a foot shorter than her.
Yep.
Because you're 4'4" and she's 5'9", so it's a bit of an awkward hug.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Enjoy the food.
Thank you.
Let me know when we're ready for watch and stuff.
I'll ring the bell. You'll hear it.
Okay. And she'll head back down to the kitchen.
cool. So another hour or two pass to the point where dinner's been had, and it would be about the time to start watch if you would like to.
So, Ragnar will make sure that the bell's rung on the hours, and make sure that the glass stays turned and things like that. But yeah. He'll take first watch if nobody else reports.
Yeah, no, Alyssa will make her way up.
Okay.
If you want the first, you can have it. I will take second if that. I do not care either way.
Alright, I'll take first. Come grab you for second. Ska can spell you when you're done.
All right. She's actually just gonna chill on the deck anyways because, hey, 4 hours. That's all I need.
It's almost like having two people that trance makes the whole party member that doesn't take a watch thing less of an issue.
Yep.
Cool.
Sky will get her trance in during first and second. Be raring to go for third.
Okay. Ragnar, I guess also Halistra, anything you want to do in particular?
Ragnar's gonna make rounds and also make sure that the catapult is intact and basically all the ship's weapons, like for actual ship-to-ship combat. Just try and give them a once-over and
Which
see
is
if
a
he notices
catapult.
it. I was gonna say, which I figure is pretty much just the little catapult on the spinny table.
It's intact. You've got some like essentially large rocks that are designed were clearly selected for use with it.
Bucket of oil, torch, that sort of thing.
Doesn't look like it'd do a huge amount of damage unless it's hitting like on wood.
Right.
The equivalent of the siege quality, but
No, it's more for throwing balls of fire. Anyway, so.
I think I lost Jack there.
Oh. No, I'm just saying it's less about necessarily using the missiles to put holes in another ship and more lighting the missiles on fire and letting them catch the other ship on fire.
Okay.
Yep.
Alyssa will probably just drop into panther form. Seems good. Strong enough claws to if the ship goes crazy. No, not for that reason, Jack. There are a limited number of beasts that are in the DMG, and that's one of them.
That's fair.
And just settle in and chill.
Okay. Right. Ragnar, make me just let's make a perception check.
Okay. 12.
Through your watch, it starts to get darker out. It's not that the cloud cover fully recedes, but it definitely feels like without the sun creating the thread of sunlight, these clouds are less obtrusive, less in the way of things.
Okay.
So you're sort of looking up at the stars almost instinctively. Not that you need them to navigate right now, but when you're this far out from the shoreline, it's a decent idea to keep an eye on the stars. And you're thinking about the stars you saw on those cards.
Yeah.
On the ones that you're seeing the same patterns. If you took some time, you're confident you could find where those stars were leading you.
Okay. Yeah, he'll give it a look. Would this be like a navigation water vehicles check?
Yeah.
Or?
Do you have navigation tools?
Not in my possession, I don't think, unless they come with the Explorer's Pack, which I don't know if that's a thing.
Don't think
Nope.
they do. I think they're a kit.
Right.
Okay. Given that, just make me a water vehicles will work. Make me a water vehicles tech with intelligence.
Okay. That's a 10.
You start sketching out where they are, and it's a ways off. Thinking about like the seasons and the stars and the time of night. It's not here right now, but sort of off to let me pull you onto the world map so I don't fuck this up.
Yay.
Northwest,
Okay.
somewhere that way.
Kind of out, like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it. Yep.
All right. He'll sort of just file that away to the back of his brain a little bit, but he's following his second hand of cards right now.
Yep.
And then as time goes on and the glass turns, he will go find Halistra.
On the deck.
Okay,
Yep.
so there's just a panther on the deck.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, that's probably her.
Yeah. Unless a panther just randomly showed up. Which is not an impossible
Not
thing.
completely impossible. Unlikely, but still not impossible. And yeah, he'll
But probably would still be related to Halistra in some way.
in some way. If there's a panther around, look for a drow. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
And yeah.
Sounds like a weird euphemism.
Just kind of ruffle the ears. All right. I'm turning in then.
He rumbles a little bit. Gets up and finds a spot where she has a better view. For danger.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Yep. I am a panther and I have perception. Okay, only rely on smell. Okay, so 16.
With the 16, you're looking, and occasionally, even in your panther form, those sort of visions that always hang in your mind pass into your perception. You see a storm cloud in the distance and almost wonder if it's going to whirl into a Terran reality. It doesn't.
Okay.
As your watch continues to pass, you see a sort of cliff of rocks off in the distance. Not a proper island, but just like almost a small outcropping of rock, seemingly roughly in the direction you're heading. From here, you can't tell if you're going to hit it, but it catches your attention.
All right. Hold on just a second. Checking to see, because I know I've got... Okay, no, not that can change the direction. How far away is it at this point?
At this point, it's still several hundred feet away.
Okay.
You can just make out the outline, but the ship's getting closer.
So she switches back to natural form.
Okay.
And is going to look up and then go like annoyed and then go and climb up into the cruiser so you can get better look at it.
All right.
Annoyed because you
Alistair, roll me a perception with
associate it with-
disadvantage.
Okay. Nine.
There's a still sleeping for the moment Alistair up there.
All right.
But yep. Make me a perception.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just checking to make sure that there's nothing I can do to actually help with this. Nope. Okay. 22.
Okay. Yeah, it's a ways off, but you can see a small rocky outcropping, generously maybe 15 feet wide, in any given, maybe 15 feet in diameter. And you can see what appears to be a figure, Not necessarily unmoving, though it's hard to tell from this angle, or from this distance. Just sort of pinned there. Probably
Pinned
with.
there?
Yeah, looks like there's something through the arms. Humanoid.
Not hard, not like damage inducing, but in the nudge awake. Bard, get up. Wake up.
Alistar, you wake up.
Bard, wake up.
What?
I will slap you if you do not get up.
Alright, I'm up.
Look, points.
What do I
Do you
see?
see that?
Perception check.
By the way, as a side note, can it be assumed that during food time, etc., we had enough time for a short rest?
Yes.
Okay, so I still have one beast shape.
You have had enough time for a short rest.
Okay.
Not since you turned it, stopped being a panther,
No,
because
yes,
that was a few minutes
yes.
ago. But
Absolutely.
Alistar, you can see this small, again, like 15-foot wide rocky outcropping poking out of the waves.
What is it?
Do you see the person?
Now that someone mentions it, yeah, it kind of does look like there's someone lying there. They're at a bit of a weird angle.
Yes, I see the person.
Good, good. Go wake up the others. I'm going to go get them.
Okay.
Do you need help?
Okay.
Do you need help getting out of the crow's nest?
Thanks for a minute. No.
No? Are you sure?
Yeah. No. Yes. I am sure.
That sounds uncertain. She pushes him out of the crow's nest.
Ah!
Alistar, you comedically, but I'm not going to clatter to the floor. You're almost used to
He
this.
doesn't have time for him to be like, no, I can do it. She's like, okay. And she goes to get it. And he's like, never mind. And she is jumping down. She's going out on the edge of the mast, jumping off into the water and going shark form.
Okay. You are a shark. You're swimming faster than the ship, but not a ton. The ship will catch up to you over time.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm getting up close.
All right. As you get closer, as a shark in the water, you can smell the scent of fresh blood. You can sort of see above the waves this figure. As you get closer, clearly tiefling, who one hand and seemingly both of their legs are stapled with large sticks with some sort of arcane runes on them to the rocks.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Definitely seems alive. Aware of your presence, but like not focused on you. Seems to be more watching the ship as it comes in.
On the off chance, I figure it's unlikely. It's somebody who looks familiar, other than tiefling.
No, this is no one you have met before.
Okay. So she switches back to drow form. Gets up on the outcropping.
Oh, hello, love. That your ship? Well, dear, you don't have to look so surprised. What did you think I was? Think I was a boggart?
I'm sorry. What?
Just asked if that was your ship, love.
That. Are you all right?
Well, yes, quite fine. It's a little inconvenient, but this is what we do for Rue. The protection and all that, you understand? Totally good.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
Rue, goddess of protection. Don't tell
Yes.
me your education was neglected, or are you one of those from the Drow cities?
Yes, but
Oh,
just stop talking, and I'm going to try to free.
make me a Constitution save.
Okay. This is gonna go well. There was too much talking. I did not. 6!
That's not a success.
That is not a success, I assume.
Okay. Illustrate, you take 14 points of necrotic damage as you try and pull this out, and the runes just sort of light up. Well, love, I wouldn't go doing that. You're trying to break in, are ya? That would not be very friendly. Yeah,
I'm sorry. What? You need to explain more.
this is an embassy.
Quickly.
Rue is the goddess of protection. This is wrong accent.
I am ruining you.
Goddess of protection, Rue, the goddess who watches over the embassy and makes sure those from the surface don't pull any tricks. I serve as a care, protecting the land and making sure no one breaks in. What you do? I wonder what you're doing in here.
Ugh.
I gotta ask again, is that your ship?
It is a ship that I am on. It is not my ship. I do not own it. It is. I am with that group, yes.
Well, that's surely good, but I will really need to talk to the one on whose ship this is.
Can you get
No, afraid I'm stuck here.
She briefly considers using primal savagery to free him at the wrists and ankles. He'd live. He's got cure wounds. It's all fine. But
The ship is nearly here right now.
okay. I will be back. And she casts Water Walk.
Mm-hmm.
And just walks back to the ship and then climbs on.
Totally good. See you soon.
So now it's the question of if Alistar actually told anyone what was happening, or
That
we're
is
just
a
going to
question.
crash into this island.
Alistar, as you arrive as Halistra dives off the ship.
So he doesn't really know what's going on. Doesn't really care, but he'll go and get Ragnar.
Okay. Easy enough to find him. He's in the map room.
Ragnar, ship things are happening. Halistra pointed at something.
Yeah.
Like,
At 8.
we're all on this boat together, so I figure you'd know what to do.
Did Halistra sound worried, scared, nervous?
You can tell?
Yes.
Oh. Oh dear.
There's varying levels to the timbre of her frustration that hint at other emotions hidden a little beneath the surface.
Oh. That explains a lot.
Yeah, you can't just stop with the top layer with that one. You have to dig a bit.
Huh.
Anyway. Alright, well, if you can go wake up Scott, I'll see what's going on.
Okay.
And I wait for him to leave the room.
Alistair, do you go wake up Scott?
Eventually.
I
Okay.
lock the door behind me,
Um,
and I go up on deck to see what's happening.
at this point, you can see a reef shark Callistra come up, human form, try and pull. You can see this humanoid, this tiefling, seemingly conversing with Callistra as she yanks on one of the rods stuck through him and finds that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, I'm running down to stop the ship.
Okay.
And then I'll come back up on deck, having secured the room.
Ska, you probably wake up as the ship lurches to a halt, possibly with Alistar nearby heading towards you.
Yeah, because she'd only be tranced for 4 hours and then
Yep.
go to
But like
praying,
you
so-
are just for simplicity's sake, you are knocked to awareness as the ship stops.
Okay. She'll immediately go up to the deck.
Okay. Hellistra, you meet up with. Does Alistar return to the deck?
Everyone else is gone. I may as well.
Okay.
See what's going
You
on.
all meet up on the deck as Hellistra returns.
Climbs up onto the ship.
Well, this certainly isn't on the map.
This is so there is a cleric of, I'm sorry, Gru, was it?
Rue, goddess of protection.
Cleric of Rue on the outcropping, nailed to the outcropping by
Seems unpleasant.
choice. By choice, it would seem, as some kind of protection thing. He needs to speak to you so we can get in the embassy.
All right.
Don't touch the nails.
Fair enough.
This seems odd.
Well, if anybody else wants to come
This
along
seems
for the
like
experience.
fucking god bullshit.
Yeah,
And
I don't think I'm gonna get off the ship just
Rue-
in case.
Rue.
Ragnar's headed for the lifeboat.
Alystra is going with. She's just gonna jump on because water walk is like active
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Mhm.
Water rock lasts a while. Okay, so you
An
both
hour.
make it to the outcropping. Ragnar with a little dinghy. Hellistra just walking.
boink.
How far away is the ship from the island? Like, I don't expect to be able to hear anything, but I can at least, like...
So Ragnar stopped the ship about 70 feet back.
Okay.
Oh wow! So really
Unless he
fucking
moved
close.
it closer.
Nope.
Okay.
Because the thing about outcroppings is that they get bigger as you go underwater.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
That's just about the time at which you were woken up and
Mhm.
saw that
Yeah.
there was an
No, that
outcropping.
totally makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, so he'll take a quick jaunt in the dinghy over to the shore.
Hello there. Here, Jolly. Good night to you.
Evening, friend.
You the one? Is your ship?
Yes, it happens to be.
Great. Fred, here's a head. She's a passenger. We're looking for passage to the embassy.
That would be correct. Yes, we're looking to make landfall there and speak to some people.
Delightful. That's just delightful. I don't really remember anyone telling me that someone was coming through tonight, but I can always make an exception for those who have no ill intent, especially if some of them are from our homelands. So, what's your crew?
There's myself, Ragnar Einherjar, current captain of the Dead Man's Revenge. Helistra, the young lady you spoke to earlier. We also have Ska
Hello.
and Alistair Amaran, a bard, half-elf, and Ska is a warrior.
What business more specifically? You got anyone that's your friend over there, or anyone that can vouch for you?
Unfortunately, no. We've
No.
been notified of some curious goings-on amongst the various pantheons, and seems like all answers to the mystery were directing us towards the embassy and possibly to individuals or information that may lie beneath the surface. So
Something is happening with the gods that is going to break the world. Not
Well, that's a bummer.
metaphorically.
Well, that's a little bit
Actually
of a
break
bummer.
the world.
So, but that does put me in a bit of a tricky spot. Can't just let you through. I kind of need to have some sort of identification, voucher, something like that, you understand? And we can't just let anyone that says the world is at stake through. Oh, we'd be letting all of the sea folk through anytime they wanted. World's always at stake with those types.
well, let me think what we can do then. Can you read this book? And I pull out the Book of the Ocean.
He'll
and
look
try
at
and
it.
hold it open to him.
Oh, that's got the smell of the ocean to it, and if I'm still a human, I'm sure it would have quite an impact upon my soul. You actually got that same smell to you. It's not really an identification card, but
What
more
kind
of a
of
heretical holy text.
What kind of identification do you need?
Just need someone on the inside to promise you won't cause any trouble. Protection and sanctuary, that you're not here to spy or conquer or any of that.
Let me try.
Just
something.
formality, you understand?
Trying to see if I have. Okay. So I'm going to. Oh no, I didn't prepare that one today. Fuck.
Helistra has a look on her face that you might imagine someone had if they were had their head pushed fully into like fresh dog shit. That is the level of like nose wrinkled, like a no.
It's almost like you need a passport to travel between countries sometimes.
Yep. Alistair, do you know anybody on the inside there?
Nobody I like. What? How? What do you need? What is the requirement for somebody who can vouch for someone?
Just someone from underground, not someone distrusted or criminal or that sort of thing. But if they're a decently respected member of the society, especially if you've got some family ties down there, it shouldn't be a problem at all.
I am from the Underdark. I would not. I can vouch. Smile.
Doesn't quite work that way, I'm afraid, lass, but...
I can. Then she's.
He'll sort of give her give you a look.
I can also raise the ocean about 3 feet.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm not actually alive.
No,
People have tried drowning me before.
it would
It's not the
shut
most fun.
you up.
No, afraid it won't. But
One moment there,
Good news.
if you would, sir. And what should we call you? I apologize.
oh, I don't really have a name. Let's go with always.
Always then. Fantastic. If you can give me a few moments, I might have a potential quick solution to our dilemma. And he's going to sit down, take 2 minutes to prepare another, since he has just finished a long rest and has not yet prepared his spells, he's going to take 2 minutes to prepare Zone of Truth.
Okay.
After which point, he will stand up. An individual of yourself affiliated with a goddess, particularly one of protection, I'm sure, is aware of the particulars of this certain spell, and he will cast it on a zone that hits him, Halistra, and Alwys, and he will voluntarily fail his save.
Okay. Always will sort of look around. Well, that is one way to go about it. Can't say, hey, it's my preferred method. It will definitely have some merits.
Unfortunately,
What you got to say?
Unfortunately, due to our lack of preparation, I don't have anything more official or tangible to offer, but I can say that upon our approach to the Deeplands Embassy, we hold no aggressive intent, bear no ill will, have no intention of creating any sort of disturbance, both civic or otherwise, and will remain neutral parties in any disputes that we encounter, unless they affect us personally or are assigned to us by the proper authorities in question.
And I'd
Tis
just like to
very
add,
specifically staying quiet.
just like to add
There you go.
that I am the greatest hero of the land. Hey, it worked! Ragnar, this is great.
Are you even here?
Halistra,
I thought you were on the
yeah, I
ship
was
with
here.
me.
you will need to make the save or choose to fail it.
Oh, good.
Even
Oh,
if you
not hit
intend
the
to stay
ship.
quiet.
I thought we were close enough for it to hit the ship.
No,
I'm
it's a 15. It's a
correct.
15-foot radius. Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
just hitting the
okay.
3 of us.
Damn.
Yay, saving with my dump stat.
Charisma save.
And Ragnar, you can tell that when the spell is about to hit,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't. Something about these nails
Uh-huh.
cancels the spell's effect on them.
Okay, so he's not affected.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not that he saved or failed to save, but you can tell the spell is not having an impact.
Okay, cool.
Also, I think it affects. Don't know if it would have affected him anyway, but that doesn't matter because.
Oh, does it affect? Yeah, okay.
It's
I
not
got it
listed
too.
that there's any creatures that it doesn't affect, but you never know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It says creatures. I thought
Yeah.
it said humanoids.
Yeah, nah, it says creature.
Yeah.
And Halistra is definitely affected with a 2 on the charisma
Yes,
save.
Absolutely. She is saying nothing.
Okay. He'll. All right, then. I've got a few questions. Well, we see if there's anyone in inland that's willing to supplement your. Well, let's be honest. Not quite an identification paper of a statement. Got any slaves?
Nope.
No.
Good. Not allowed. I know there's some misconceptions. None in the embassy. Definitely against the law. 100% of the time, you will be arrested and killed.
Fair enough. Good to know.
And your slaves will be freed, which most of the drow families care more about.
Understood.
And he'll. Any of you intend to conquer? That you know of with your crew and yourself. Any intent to conquer the lands of the held in contract with the Deeplands, the capital and embassy and our surrounding waters.
Ragnar will actually take a moment to consider that. And then truthfully answer, no. because he does not currently intend to, and he does not know if that is even an eventual possibility for the future. So no.
Okay. Look at Hallistra.
Do I have to answer each one of these too? No, I do not intend to conquer shit. The last thing that I want to do is spend more time in the hellhole that is the Underdark.
Well, that's not
Wow.
very nice.
This spell is very good.
Wow, this spell is very good. Thank you. Take
I
that as
can't
a
hold a
compliment.
truthful answer against you too hard. Well, I could. But I won't in this case. And he'll go through a whole bunch of questions about, are you carrying this? Are you carrying
Oh
that?
God, we're
Do you
going
have
through
an
fucking
excessive
customs.
number of bombs?
It's
You have any
TSA.
fruit?
Do you have any perishable
No.
items?
It's customs.
Yeah. Do you have any fruits or vegetables to declare?
Right.
That one they're not so worried about.
Is
Invasive
weed a
species are less
vegetable?
of an issue when you kill the ground around you where you walk sometimes.
Legit.
Um,
So yeah, if she has to answer everything,
it's
she
really just,
will.
it's only a few questions that you have to answer. The
Okay.
ones where it is, do you or any of your group have any intent of, or do you or any of your group this?
So the only one I don't think she can answer with complete honesty in the way that she wants him to is, do you intend to cause anyone harm?
Oh, they don't ask that.
Oh, good.
Um,
Well, no, because there was a question about aggressive intent or something like that. And
Ragnar stipulated no aggressive intent.
okay. Then yeah, she's fine as long as there's that, not that. Because if she runs across certain people, she might kill them.
That's fine. Yeah.
You know, family.
You know, as you do.
As you do. Because, yeah.
Because family.
Um, after a little bit of this, well, I got on enough stalling. Turns out there's a gnome inside that did want to speak to you, who and got some wood from from one of the temples on the edge.
Wait, what? What gnome?
Don't know. Though you're free to go now. See ya.
Do you...
Have a delightful day.
I don't recall any gnome.
Please tell me
from
he's
the-
waiting, but just like kind of pivoting from the wrist
Yeah.
because he's got a nail. through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Just sort of
It's
twitching
like
sporadically.
It's like halfway between an arm that doesn't work and that sort of royal wave where you don't.
Yes.
Um,
This is straight up the life of Brian.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Best of
Well,
it. Hope you come back through.
I suppose we'll see you on our exit then. Thank you for your service.
I did not thank you because I do not care. God, the spell.
We'll destroy you if you conquer our kingdom.
Duly noted.
Again, I have no plans to rule any single inch of your shithole
He just starts
kingdom.
dragging Hallistra away by her collar. Come on, let's get back to the dead man.
Hey,
I
Scarlet,
said we were in
I'm the
front of the
captain.
dead man.
The shit,
not.
Hallistra.
I've got the wheel and the hat. That makes me the captain.
No.
There's no wheel.
Yeah.
You do have a hat.
You're not here.
We're like
You say
45
as-
feet away. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Uh,
You say as they start returning.
Back on the boat.
You will never
Back
be
on
the
dinghy.
captain of this ship.
Back on the dinghy. Row it back.
Yeah,
Attach
walk
the
back,
lines. hoist-
annoyed, angry, very Hallistra-like.
all right. Well, I get to the Bursa then.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like second captain. Just one in charge of the money.
Yeah, no, I'm not putting you in charge of money.
I'm good with money.
Yeah. How much money do you have right now?
As much as I want.
Yeah, and that's why you're not in charge of the money.
What?
Climb
She'll
back
walk
on.
away and go walk up to Ragnar.
So, how are things in our absence?
Alistar's trying to be captain because he's a moron. What happened down
But-
there?
Midshipman Amaran! Report for
sir.
duty!
No. Listen. Look,
Yeah, I'm not putting
Bursa.
you in charge of the money. It's not going to happen.
it's not even about the money. It's like, the Bursar's the person who can say, as on
Okay,
the ship, who can say, no, Captain, we can't do that.
Okay, here's the thing, though. The only thing that you will be doing on this ship, because you refuse to take watch, is entertainment.
What? What's a what?
And that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
A what?
Progress and confusion.
I've never had a watch.
Beautiful.
Say goodbye,
Say
everybody.
goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello?